One of the most confusing moments in a professional journey is not realizing that something is wrong. It is deciding what to do about it. Because once you become aware of misalignment, once you acknowledge that something no longer fits, the next question becomes, what exactly is the right move? Should I leave completely? Should I change direction? Should I adjust where I am? And without a clear framework, many high-achieving corporate women default to extremes. Either they stay too long or they leave too quickly. Very few move strategically. Let's anchor something important first. High-achieving corporate women do not burn out because they are weak. They burn out because they are misaligned. But misalignment does not always require the same response. Different types of misalignment require different types of movement. And when the response does not match the problem, alignment is delayed. So today, I want to give you a simple but powerful framework. 3 possible responses to misalignment: recalibrate, shift, pivot. And by the end of this, you will be able to identify which one applies to your situation. Let's start with the first, recalibrate. Recalibration is the least disruptive form of change. It means you remain within your current role or environment, but you adjust how you operate within it. Recalibration is appropriate when the misalignment is not structural but operational. For example, the work itself still aligns with your strengths. The environment is not fundamentally incompatible, but your boundaries are unclear. Your workload is mismanaged. Your leadership style has not evolved with your identity, or your expectations of yourself are outdated. In these cases, leaving is not the solution. Adjustment is. Recalibration might look like redefining your current boundaries, delegating more effectively, changing how you engage with certain responsibilities, repositioning your leadership approach. Recalibration restores alignment without requiring transition. It is often overlooked because it feels less dramatic. But for many professionals, it is exactly what is needed. Now, let's move to the second option, shift. A shift is a controlled change within your broader career path. You're not leaving your field entirely, but you are adjusting your position within it. This might involve moving to a different department, changing teams, transitioning into a different function, joining a different organization within the same industry. A shift is appropriate when the misalignment is environmental, not foundational. The type of work still aligns with your identity, but the environment does not support how you need to operate. For example, you enjoy strategic work, but your current environment is overly operational. You value thoughtful leadership, but your current culture prioritizes speed over depth. You want meaningful impact, but your current structure limits your influence. In these cases, you do not need a complete career reinvention. You need a better environment. Shifts are powerful because they preserve your experience while improving alignment. Now, let's move to the third option, pivot. A pivot is the most significant form of change. It involves moving into a different direction entirely. This might include changing industries, moving into a new type of work, building something different from what you have done before. A pivot is appropriate when the misalignment is foundational, when the work itself no longer fits with who you are becoming. Not just the environment, not just the structure, but the nature of the work itself. For example, you no longer feel connected to the type of problems you are solving. Your strengths are evolving beyond your current field. Your sense of purpose is pulling toward a different direction. In these cases, recalibration will not be enough, and shifting environment will not solve the problem. A new direction becomes necessary. But even pivots should be strategic, not impulsive. They should be designed, not rushed. Now, let us bring these three together. Recalibrate when the issue is how you are operating. Shift when the issue is where you are operating. Pivot when the issue is what you are doing. That distinction is powerful because it prevents overreaction. Many professionals pivot when they only needed to shift. Others leave when they only needed to recalibrate. And in both cases, unnecessary disruption is created. Now, let's go deeper. Why do high-achieving corporate women struggle to make this distinction? Because discomfort feels urgent, and urgency pushes toward extreme solutions. If this feels wrong, I must leave. But not every discomfort requires departure. Some require adjustment, some require repositioning, and only some require redirection. This is why clarity must come before movement, because clarity helps you match the solution to the problem. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine experiencing discomfort in your body. Not every discomfort requires surgery. Some require rest, some require physical therapy, some require lifestyle adjustment, and only some require major intervention. Career alignment works the same way. The response must match the diagnosis. Now, let's connect this to identity again, because identity determines the correct path. When identity is unclear, everything feels like an option. And when everything feels like an option, decision-making becomes overwhelming. But when the identity is clear, options narrow. You can quickly recognize this fits, this does not. And that clarity simplifies decision making. This is why the first phase of the RTS method is realign, not transition. Realign, because identity clarity determines whether you should recalibrate, shift, or pivot. Then comes transition, where the chosen path is executed strategically. And finally, sustain, ensuring that alignment is maintained long-term, because success that costs your identity is not sustainable success. Let's bring this together. If you are currently experiencing misalignment, pause before making a decision. Ask yourself, is the issue how I am operating? Is the issue where I am operating? Or is the issue what I am doing? These three questions map directly to recalibrate, shift, pivot. And once that becomes clear, your next step becomes much easier, because you are no longer reacting, you are responding. Let's recap. Recalibrate when your approach needs adjustment. Shift when the environment needs to change. Pivot when your direction needs to change. Each one is valid, but only one is correct for your situation. If you are a high-achieving corporate woman navigating this season, you do not need to guess. You need to diagnose. Because once the diagnosis is clear, movement becomes strategic, not emotional. In the next video, we are going to address something very practical: how to protect your income while exploring change. Because financial stability is one of the biggest concerns during transition. And learning how to navigate that intelligently allows you to move with confidence. I will see you on the next one.